New York City is facing a big problem with homelessness, and some believe the city's actions are making it worse. The statement, "NYC is making people homeless on purpose," likely refers to policies or actions by New York City that critics argue are exacerbating homelessness or failing to provide adequate solutions to the issue. There are several factors and policies that have been debated as contributing to homelessness in the city.
But before we dive in, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest updates. Let's focus on the details here.
Housing shortage and affordability crisis. New York City has long struggled with a shortage of affordable housing. Rents have skyrocketed, and new housing development often caters to high-income earners, pushing lower-income individuals out. Many people argue that the city has not done enough to create affordable housing for its most vulnerable residents, leading to a rise in homelessness. Evictions and lack of tenant protections. Advocates often point to evictions as a major driver of homelessness. While NYC has implemented certain tenant protections, including rent freezes and moratoriums during the pandemic, many argue that these measures are insufficient or that the city has been slow to act on preventing evictions, leaving many vulnerable to losing their homes. Shelter system failures. NYC's homeless shelter system has also been criticized for being inadequate. Shelters are often overcrowded, unsafe, and lacking in essential services, discouraging many homeless people from using them. Critics argue that the city's reliance on shelters rather than providing permanent housing solutions keeps people trapped in homelessness. Recent migrant crisis. The arrival of tens of thousands of asylum seekers and migrants in NYC, often placed in city shelters, has added strain to an already overwhelmed system. The city's decision to house migrants in hotels and shelters has led to tensions over resource allocation, with some claiming that local homeless populations are being pushed aside to accommodate the new arrivals. Right to shelter challenges. NYC is one of the few cities with a right to shelter law, meaning it is legally required to provide shelter to anyone who asks. However, the city's ability to fulfill this promise has come under scrutiny, especially as the migrant crisis has put additional pressure on shelter capacity. There have been reports of people being turned away or placed in inadequate facilities, leading to concerns that the city is failing to meet its obligations. Criticisms of sweeps. The city has also been criticized for conducting sweeps of homeless encampments, where officials dismantle tents and makeshift homes without providing adequate housing alternatives. These actions are seen by some as punitive and inhumane, effectively making people homeless on purpose by destroying their temporary shelters. These policies and issues are often seen as systemic failures, and critics argue that without meaningful, long-term solutions, New York City's actions can contribute to ongoing homelessness, even if unintentionally. In short, many think NYC isn't doing enough to solve the housing crisis, and some actions might even be making more people homeless. Despite the well-meaning efforts of NYC's leaders, its homeless population is growing.